Gotcha.
Yes.
So we're all going to sit here for just a couple moments. No. Let me, first of all, do a couple little announcements while we wait just a moment. First of all, thank everyone for coming tonight. I hope you enjoyed the show. Here at Morgan-Wixson, we do these talkbacks at 2 shows for every production. We usually keep them to about 20 minutes. That will not be the case tonight, and I think you have a special treat in store for you this evening. For those of you that have kids, you can't bring them to this show, but the Morgan-Wixson does have a great children's program. It's award-winning, as a matter of fact. It's our Yes program, and right now through April 7th, Madeline and the Gypsies is performing. So please check the box office and get tickets for that. And the last thing I'll tell you is we do have our website, morgan-wixson.org, where you can get information about auditions, so you too can audition for the shows here, how to buy tickets, and of course this theater works on the generosity and support of volunteers, and there's lots of ways to volunteer, so please check our website for information on that. All right, and now besides Ann and Kevin, please welcome Tony Award-winning Jeff Marx. We're going to start the evening off with some questions and for Jeff Marx and some stories. I'm going to hand it over to Kevin to start us off.
Sure. The documentary, Show Business, The Road to Broadway, has anyone seen it? If anyone who hasn't seen it, you guys need to run out. You better have seen it. You guys need to run out and check it out right away, because it is a documentary following the story of the different Broadway shows eligible for the Best Musical Tony the year that Avenue Q took the brass parade. So they follow The Wicked, Carolina Change, Taboo, and Avenue Q. So you can get a peek, a really intimate look inside the process and what the co-creators and composers went through. There are cameras there in their hotel rooms as the Tony Awards nominations are being announced. You should really check it out. It's a wonderful documentary. So I'm going to try to skip over some of the stuff that is covered in that movie, so we can hopefully get to some of the lesser known stories about Avenue Q. But I'm sure there's a lot of people who often ask you, what were some of the inspirations for some of the things in the show, like what was the inspiration for Christmas Eve?
Did you introduce yourself? Did you see his jacket?
Oh. I wear my resume on my back. What can I say?
That's awesome. I have one of these.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is like the Broadway company jacket.
Yeah, thank you.
Kevin, who directed this, played Trekkie in our production in Vegas for like how long?
It was a 9-month run.
Yeah.
Yeah. We always say, not as long as Mamma Mia, but longer than Hairspray. Hairspray was only for now. What were some of the inspirations for some of the things that are very much beloved in the show, like Christmas Eve?
I don't remember. Yeah, okay, my mom's, really? Do you care? Okay.
Yeah.
My mom's best friend's name was Eve, because she was born on Christmas Eve. And I always thought, well, why did they name her Christmas Eve? And then when we were writing Everyone's a Little Bit Racist, we needed like everyone to insult like Princeton accidentally insults Kate, and then Kate insults Princeton, and then they insult Gary, and Gary insults Brian, and we needed someone for Brian to insult. So we thought, what if we give him a wife, and what she talks, her accent, and then it'll turn out, that he can be like, it's her fucking second language, asshole. How many languages? So I don't know. So we were looking for a name for her, like Yoko Ono. It's not Jane, that's not an American name that we know well, and something that didn't quite translate well, like Hello Kitty. And so I don't know. I remember Christmas Eve. But you know what? And it works, right? I mean, once she says my name's Christmas Eve, you go, all right, her name's Christmas Eve.
Yeah, by that point, I think everyone's on board for sure.
But you're believing in the puppets and stuff.
It's very true. Puppets and people living together, mass hysteria. But now, what about the bad idea bears?
I don't know. We needed the cute little voice in your head that makes you do things that aren't so good for you. And a physical manifestation of it. And we want them to be cute because they always win.
I remember it being a story out of Yale, something about the
one of the a cappella groups at Yale, where my collaborator Bobby went. I guess when they were having beers, they would say, "Please go on one more."
Instead of going back to rehearsal, instead of going back to rehearsal, bad idea, bear. Say have another beer. Okay, and then Brian.
Well, like Sesame Street, we wanted humans like Maria and Bob and
Mr. Hooper.
So he was just.
But Brian is based on a real life.
Brian's based on a real guy, Brian Yorkie, who was our friend and just helped us out with readings and stuff. And he was a writer too. He was in the writing workshop that we were in. And 5 years after this opened, he won a Tony and a Pulitzer for writing Next to Normal.
Wow.
Which is awesome, by the way. That's right. And I love him and I love that show. And I'm jealous about the Pulitzer. I mean, I love that, but I love this more. So I would have given it to this. And you know what? I was actually going to tell you a story.
No, please.
I asked Michael Riedel once, because he was on the committee that year that picked the Pulitzer, they gave it to I Am My Own Life. And the Pulitzer isn't best work, art of the year. It has specific criteria. That's something original, not based on anything, about American society, saying something that hasn't really been said before. Those are their criteria. And I Am My Own Life wasn't about America. It wasn't about whatever. So I asked Michael Riedel once, were we even considered for the? I'm complaining.
And what did he?
Oh, and he said, we just never really considered it. Well, you got your answer. But you know what? I guess that just goes to show that you can always complain. I'm proud of this, but you can always find something to complain about.
Another thing, why, of all people, why Gary Coleman?
Well, now I'm kind of sorry. I didn't know it was going to run and last this long. The Sesame Street that we were parodying always had guest stars like Beverly Sills and James Taylor and Harry Belafonte and stars. And so we thought, well, we got to have a guest star. And also the Muppets always had stars. We thought we ought to have a star, but this is about how it kind of sucks to grow up, that it's great being a kid, and when you have to actually make a living and try to pay your own rent, and have to try to get a job somewhere, and nobody's handing it to you, and you get out of this sheltered environment, your parents in school and college, and you're out in the real world, and it's not so much fun anymore. We thought, all right, who can be the poster child for being great when you're a kid and kind of sucking? And we thought, his life was great as a kid, and then it wasn't so good.
And did you guys ever hear anything from Gary? Was he
Yes.
sad?
Well, we talked to him on the phone actually, because we created this as it was going to be a TV series, somehow we got his number. So we were going to write it and I don't know, either make a demo or something and try to get to HBO.